Remember, you have to work for the military in order to go into space. Anybody else might run into a small, unfortunate accident. Ooh, that's right. Challenger? What was that? Did you say? I don't know.
CC, pick up that guitar and I'm time to be.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Project Nihilist. If you've never seen this man-child before, boy, are you in for a treat. Before we get into the video about spacesuits, let's take a quick look at some of his other brilliant ideas.
The only way static electricity could exist is on a flat, stationary Earth.
This is a simple fucking thing. Explain to us
How that just fell to the floor.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity?
Let's try to wrap this around a ball. Well, it's an egg. How do you think I came out? It was pretty good, right?
Look at how proud CC is for dipping an egg in colored water.
How do you think I came out? It was pretty good, right? It's not bad. But you see, the conformity, when you wrap shit around a ball, always has crevices. Oh, you can't really get it right. Oh, damn it. You see, there you go. Okay, it's folding right there. It's creased. It doesn't look right.
And it's super easy to explain, barely an inconvenience. It's like you didn't go to elementary school where they explained how all this shit worked, man. But I found it on the internet for you.
To portray the surface of the globe on a flat map, geographers have developed geometric methods called map projections.
It goes on and it answers CC's question about why the land masses don't look their actual sizes. Let's get into this train wreck because it's so fun to watch. CC's video is like 15 minutes long, and if you see a jump cut, I edited out some irrelevancy to keep you from wanting to gouge out your eyeballs and stab your ears with ice picks.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. Okay. Today's going to be a little educational video. Some keywords you should keep in the back of your, head right over here. Super strong plastic. Good word. Okay, well, let's get right into it, shall we? Okay. All right. A spacesuit's also known as an EVA.
Oh, wow, we're on the same page. An EVA is one type of spacesuit.
Spacesuit, in effect, is basically a spaceship, okay, that's in the shape of a human body, basically. That's what it is. You're in a spaceship.
You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain.
All right, so the primary pressure garment, all right, is broken up into two different sections, the upper torso and the lower torso, okay?
I'm actually following along for once. When you're done with your spacewalk, you take off your space pants and jacket.
It's also got, which I find absolutely amazing, throughout the entire spacesuit, you're talking about 300 feet of tubing, okay? We don't know the size of the tubing. Of course, is it like the fiber optic size, or is it, when in a fish tank, you get those little tubes for the air pump and everything like that? Is it like that? But it's 300 feet, okay, which is wrapped around this entire spacesuit on the inside, okay?
Okay, that about wraps up my introduction. Now, are there any questions?
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, I am absolutely amazed with this pressure garment.
I'm going to pass around just a little tiny bit, and I want you all to take a smell so you know when someone is smoking marijuana near you.
Which NASA has developed for everybody. Well, no, only for the few selected that can go into space. Remember, you have to work for the military in order to go into space. Anybody else might run into a small, unfortunate accident. Ooh, that's right. Challenger?
Okay, just take a smell, pass it on, and when it gets back up to me, we'll finish talking about it.
What was that? Did you say? I don't know. Somebody in the background over there in the classroom. Did just yelled out Challenger. I don't know what exactly.
What animal would say such a thing? He's not a war hero. He's a war hero. He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay?
I would have never thought of it. You know, why put everything inside of the spacecraft? You know, or the shuttle or anything like that. Put everything on the outside. That's the best way to do it, because you don't. I'll tell you, you don't want to bang into one of these things. Maybe cut yourself or something like that. You know, the precious instruments that you need to get to should be on the outside of the spacecraft. Okay. Anyway, I don't want. I'm getting off the subject.
You see? You believe it now?
Well, yeah, sure. Why would he make that up?
Dum 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 dum.
There's a lot of information to digest.
Let's go!
Oh, man. In the spirit of full disclosure, I don't have a clue what fucking he's talking about. He's all over the place.
There are also vents that are in this spaceship, shall we say. A humanoid spaceship. It's a nice way to do it.
Not really. That's how it's explained to little children who grow up and still can't grasp the concept.
That actually extract all the air away from the skin, so there's no sweating or anything like that.
See, that's just done because that's not how it works. The fabric soaks up sweat and then uses the cooling system to remove body heat, causing an evaporative cooling effect.
It's also got little vents on the outside of the spacesuit, okay, to eliminate, the carbon monoxide that's inside of the spacesuit.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
So there are these little vents that are out there, which you can't really see at all in any of the spacesuits, as far as I'm concerned, unless if it's hidden in the magical backpack, that extract all the carbon monoxide inside of the spacesuit.
Dum 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 dum.
Maybe it's not that big a deal he confuses monoxide for dioxide, but if our hemoglobin tried to exchange monoxide, it binds to our hemoglobin and it's not easily exchanged like dioxide.
Shouldn't that freeze, though? There should be some frost or anything like that. It's magical, remember?
I think Chris is talking about the ice sublimator that is vented into space, but it's not your freezer on a humid day that you forgot to close and it turned into a chunk of ice. It's not how sublimation works in a vacuum, dipshit.
Remember, this spacesuit that NASA has developed is supposed to withstand 250 degrees minus and 250 degrees Fahrenheit plus.
You don't understand how convection heat on Earth is different than radiating heat in space, where there's no matter to propagate the heat. So these temperatures aren't as extreme as standing in front of a damn blast furnace. Mom and Dad bought me a Yeti for Christmas, and I thought, what in the hell do I need one of these for? This thing is badass. 24 hours after getting a fountain drink, it still has ice in it, and it isn't flat. It uses vacuum technology to insulate against heat exchange.
That's amazing, So that thing can get up to 200. That thing is amazing. Anyway, okay, all right.
I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy.
Dude, we understand why you're giving yourself a headache, because you don't understand the science.
And this makes a lot of sense also. I mean, this is 16 layers. Close. When I was on the ski team, we used to wear like 3 layers, maybe 4 sometimes, because we were in minus 35 degrees sometimes. And I couldn't even move.
I've been skiing where my snot would instantly freeze. I've been skiing in like windbreakers and a t-shirt before. Dude, don't give me this whole shit that I was on the ski team and I was like a fucking stiff troll. I mean, what's his point actually? He didn't freeze to death from exposure?
But this is 16 layers. They must be so thin. It's like getting the deli guy to slice it paper thin so you can see right through it. That's how thin it is. But remember, these spacesuits are also there to protect you from debris. that are flying miniature, meteors or anything like that might be flying around there. The 16 layers is for this.
I found this photograph of what CC looked like when he was skiing.
And the white outer coating also is there to reflect the sunlight and also to protect you from the sun's radiation. And the only way to protect you from radiation really is gold, thick layer of it, and water.
Dum 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 dum.
So that's just dumb, and Chris obviously doesn't know anything about ionizing radiation and what protects us from the 5 different types of it.
Now, let's get into the life support system. The magical backpack. I love this. You know why? Because it looks like a little school book carrying case. That holds like maybe maybe 3 or 4 books in the back, a little place for your mug. It's what it looks like to me. But no. Okay, that space pack, the magical backpack, contains oxygen. Now remember, some of these spacewalks require several hours of oxygen, okay? All tightly knit, fit into this little space backpack. It's great. It's nice.
I asked 2 questions here. How long could a diver with a rebreather stay underwater for? And how long were the astronauts on the moon during the Apollo missions? And it seems fairly reasonable.
It's nice. Several hours of air. It's also equipped with a fan. Okay. Of course, you've got a communication stuff back there. You also, don't forget, you've got to have water in there to go through the tubing, to keep the space man, astronaut, dick, cool and warm.
All you gotta do, CC, is go spend like 15 seconds reading how it worked, and it was a self-regulating system that if you got too cool, it would shut off, and it would only turn back on when it warmed up. It's so awesome. We humans are actually more intelligent than you give us credit for.
Okay. In an event of being, the sun's going over there, and it's going over there, and there's a temperature is so radical up on the moon, and
every time we went to the moon, we didn't go at high sun. We went during sunrise. When the sun is angled really far away. They did this for a reason. They didn't go to a full moon. They went to like a partial moon. And they didn't go to a new moon because the fucking thing would have been in the dark. I mean, you're so dumb that you just think shit and you're so wrong about it.
And we don't even know how deep it is at all, because when they planted the flag, they didn't show anything. Is it 4 or 5 inches deep of dust, or what's underneath the dust? No, we don't need to know any of that. Why not? Why? We've spent billions of dollars getting there. Why know about that? Why tell the people who paid for it what exactly? Okay.
Given the nature of the moon, we could make a good guess about what the surface of it was like. One of my favorite things about moon deniers is how they can't explain the regolith falling to the ground as if it's in a vacuum. And it couldn't be simulated here on Earth, that's for sure.
I can't get my left leg in front of me.
And then, now, and the pump and the fan, by the way, are an ingenious, miraculous invention.
Ingenious for sure, but not miraculous. They took nickel and crushed it down into thin sheets of metal where water would freeze in these microscopic holes, and when heat would get introduced in the system, the water melts and then the vacuum of space sucks the shit out. It's totally awesome, but it's not a miracle.
Okay, because this is all packed into this little neat backpack in the back of the spaceman.
The truth is, reality doesn't care about your incredulity or your feels. Also, that's a boss-ass van.
Okay, so 16 layers, 300 feet of tubing, okay, pressurized garment, and not to mention the helmet. The helmet's got a gold coating on it, by the way.
Dude's really this dumb. He doesn't understand that for a long time we've been able to put microscopic layers of metals on glass to serve different purposes. He's like, oh, it's gold plated, so it must have been expensive.
Mind if I shoot up here? Hey, mi casa, su casa. Muchas gracias.
So that's some expensive fucking spacesuit. Now I understand why it cost $50 million to make one. Now, this is the actual spacesuit itself. Has any of these actually made it? Seen the light of day? None. What are we given? We're given a spacesuit that's in a jumpsuit that looks like a jumpsuit with little zippers for the shoes and the hands. That's what we get.
So CC seen someone zip up a zipper once on a spacesuit that was like the fabric that protected the backpack, and he's like, well, there's no way that's airtight, so it's all fake and a fucking lie.
Okay, and that's what you see these supposed astronauts wearing. It's such bullshit, it's such garbage, and it's there to make you fucking believe that we live on this spinning wet ball and we can get up there, and one day we're all gonna live up there, and we're gonna have a Wendy's there, we're gonna have all sorts of shit there and a lot of fun, maybe play some baseball. Aren't these astronauts worried about their air, though? I mean, you know, a little container of air. I mean, anybody who's who's ever snorkeled in their entire life, that little pack of air you got back there, container of air, only holds like maybe 2 or 3 hours. Not even.
Breathing underwater was one of the most awesome experiences of my life. Regular scuba gear uses just compressed air, 1,000 psi. You might get an hour if you're calm. Astronauts practice with rebreathing systems that last 4 times longer than just compressed air. It's not a difficult thing to understand if you just spend a little bit of time trying to learn it. But CC thinks that scuba diving is the same thing as snorkeling.
If you're lucky, an hour. I gotta look up the exact specs to that, but and that thing is huge. It's like half the size of your back, bigger than that. Anyway, upper torso, shall we say? It's about the same size as your upper torso. That's great. That's great. That's what you're given.
And this is probably a good place to end it because Chris really goes off the rails. You know, the pandemic and NYC cop being unalived and random girls getting punched in the face. If you want that kind of quality content, you got to like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Somebody mysteriously pulls up right next to me, and now he's on the move. Okay. All right, that answers a lot of... Okay. All right. I see you distracted. This is what happens when I'm around NPCs. Yeah, he saw me in the truck, and he looked straight at me, and there he goes. Okay, NPC...
Oh, there you go.
NPC, help. The one thing I have noticed ever since this police officer got shot is when I'm driving up in the morning, I'm not smelling marijuana at all with cars in front of me or anything like that, which is weird. Usually every single day I smell it on one of the highways that I'm on. I'm on several highways in the morning to get to my destination. But anyway.
Okay, just take a smell, pass it on, and when it gets back up to me, we'll finish talking about it. In the meantime, I want to get into alcohol a little, okay? Alcohol is bad.